This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Ready to roll, baby. Coming to you live from the finest Acura dealership on the planet. It is Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Thank you all for tuning in as always and checking us out. Julius 305 makes me laugh because he put this pond thanks you for speaking to us, which if any of you are following the Kyrie Irving story, that he, put out a statement, didn't talk to the media, got fined $25,000, and then put out, like, I don't talk to ponds, to the reporters. He called them ponds. This guy is such a horse's ass, and he's a punk. And to me, it's just the obvious thing is that it's not going to work for the Nets. I give them a lot of credit as an organization because they have been in the process of turning their image around, and they have. The Nets are way more respectable than they've been in the past, but yet it's weird now. You get Durant, you got a bunch of role players that are actually pretty good role players. They got some guys on that team that you want to surround stars. The guys that you can surround. Put around a star, in other words, and they signed two guys, and Kevin Durant, look, there's no doubt that guy's a superstar, but when I look at Kyrie, I just think he's going to be the guy that is going to be a thorn in the side of the team and Kevin Durant. I think eventually Kevin Durant will get tired of this guy. I really do, because, Kyrie Irving proved it in Boston, that he wasn't ready for any kind of leadership role. And do you think what he just did yesterday shows any kind of leadership? That's not leadership. That's being a punk, is what Kyrie Irving is doing. There's no leadership involved there. That's why to me, it's just, I find it humorous because in the end, I just don't think that you're going to end up having the success that you want in Brooklyn with that guy. But, hey, listen, as long as it's not the Miami Heat that fell for the banana in the tailpipe and acquired that clown, I'm happy. Can you imagine if Pat Riley acquires Kyrie Irving? I would not be happy. I would not be happy. I took it easy on the organization with Whiteside and all those guys because – you're entitled to make a mistake. But if you would follow it up by then adding Kyrie Irving, then I would say, they're losing their touch. Okay? That's what's going on in Miami, and you need to make changes. Luckily, our man Riley is not that naive and did not bring that guy here. But, yeah, calling the reporters pawns, it's just ridiculous.
Do you think any of this stems from the earth is flat? Maybe he just realized that it's round and he's disgruntled.
No, he's already apologized for that.
I'm just...
He already well, I'm wrong. And it's like, really, dude, you're wrong. Like, why did you even come up with it in the first place? How stupid and ignorant can you be? That kind of stuff. Ian from Brooklyn, by the way, is first to chime in on the Super Chat. Miguel Garcia is in. Julius 305, Brooklyn Rob, Mike, is it Jamorzik? Miguel Garcia says Cam Newton rant. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Herman Cueva, Jeffrey Vincent, Big O, love you, bro. He says, not gay, but you have beautiful eyes. Okay. Well, thank you, Jeffrey. I appreciate it. Let's see. Maybe the only beautiful thing about me. Let's see. M. Shepard, the most exciting part of this year is that we're just getting started. What up, Big O? And laughing at the Pats? Yeah. Well, you look, those of you that have been on this podcast for a while, told you they'd struggle to get to 500. They're 6-7. I'm glad New England lost. I had a $60 bet that the Dolphins will have a better season than New England. Thanks, Coach Flo. Nice job by you, Jeffrey. Bromar says, I'm late again. When did the Big O go live? Just a couple minutes ago. Relax, Bromar. I just started. Just started right now, my man.
That would be 6.5 minutes, 31, 32, 33. You're on the mark.
There you go, Bromar. 6 minutes ago. 6 minutes. 6 minutes. Dougie Fresh, you're on. Troy T says, hey, listen to all day while I work on Onside and YouTube. Love your hard work. Thank you. Thank you, Troy. Appreciate you, man. And Sid chimes in, says, who is the moron next to you? Why you gotta call my man Bill a moron? Oh, actually, he said Moran. So he's calling you a Moran. Why did you call him a Moran?
What the hell is a Moran?
I don't know. But what did you say? You didn't even say anything crazy. I mean, it's really early in the show. You got to give him some time before he does that.
Yeah, man, at least a good 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, would you rather have a 2 to 3 year run with Harden on the Heat while all of our young guys are gone, or a 10-year run with a deep young team and no Harden? And James Roman says, greeting Big O and Bill and the chat board. Big O, so happy to catch you on live. Thank you, Mario. All right, let me answer your question, Troy, because Ethan Skolnick asked me that question. As you all know, if you listen to Onside Radio every day, Ethan Skolnick in the 5 Reasons Sports Hour is on between 10 and 11. By the way, it's called the 5 Reasons Sports Hour. Whenever he expands to 2 hours, which eventually it will happen with Ethan, what are we going to call it then? Because it's called the 5 Reasons Sports Hour. Anyway, so Ethan.
10 reasons, 5 per hour.
See, now there you go. There you go. 10 reasons per hour. So
you got to specify 5 per hour.
Okay.
That way you get 10 in the 2.
There you go. So Ethan asked me the same question, but I twisted it on him because he asked me, okay, if I guarantee you 1 championship with Harden, or you stay with this young team. I said I'm staying with the young team. But I did throw a caveat. I had to. Here's my caveat. I said, I'll take Harden if I'm going to win that 1 championship against LeBron and the Lakers. Because if we can hand LeBron a loss in the finals, hey, I'm all for that, baby. Come on. I mean, that might be the most satisfying title of them all, to stick it back to him for sticking it to Riley.
Well, also remember, last year we've got 2 need to get back at him because last year the injuries. Yeah, but if we don't get injured, it's a different deal.
Okay, but I can't blame him for the injuries.
Yeah, but
I can blame him for. No, but I can.
He got a title on us because of our injuries.
That's fine, but I can't blame him for that.
That's a default.
I can blame him for being an asshole with Riley.
I just don't like the default thing.
I get it, but I'm more about him being an asshole
with Riley. You want direct payback for the.
Yes, he waited till the moratorium was over to make his decision when you knew he was going back. He's an asshole, and he screwed Riley, and he put him in a terrible position.
The game that Jimmy goes off when he walks off the court with seconds, you know what I mean? He's He's such a pouty kind of, I want
bitch.
my way. Yeah,
He's a
it's
little
like
bitch.
he's a spoiled little brat.
He's a little bitch. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. So that's where the caveat is. I don't want Harden. I don't want to trade for Harden. I don't want to give up everything. I think I've told you this before already. I like this kind of Heat team now. These guys are drafting well. They're developing guys. If you really feel Precious is another Bam, then what do I need to be trading guys for? So you're telling me I'm adding another future All-Star? I'm good then. I mean, and all they talk about is that KZ Opala is going to be better than Derrick Jones Jr. Okay, well, then I want to see that. I love this now. I mean, we kind of have talked about this before, like with the Dolphins. You know, everybody was afraid of the teardown. I was like a kid in a candy store. Because that's my favorite thing about this whole process is rebuilding and building it through the youth and watching young people develop. You know what I mean? I think it's pretty cool. You listen to our station at Onside. We have several people that have not done this before. And they're getting their opportunities. Why? Because it's always retreads and they're always putting the same people, you know, and not me. I didn't want to do that. I want to kind of change things up a little bit. I think it's cool to give new faces opportunities. See how it goes. That's where you find new people, you know, and I love the way the Heat is run now. That we got Duncan Robinson out of nowhere and Kendrick Nunn, and you drafted Tyler and you drafted Bam. Maybe the Carlos Silva kid helps you out. Gabe Vincent, the other kid that they had last year, the shooter. I don't know where he's going. Maybe he's a player. They signed 2 other kids, a European kid, or is he from Cameroon or something? But he's like 6'8" with like a 7'3" wingspan. And then the other kid from the SEC. These guys have an eye for talent. So I'm intrigued with all of this. And you got to the NBA Finals without Harden. And Harden couldn't get to the NBA Finals. So why am I going to trade for the guy that couldn't get to the NBA Finals? And why am I going to disrupt the team that got to the NBA Finals? You get what I'm saying? I'm not for adding Harden at all. Now, if you tell me he was a straight-up free agent and we're going to accommodate him on the roster, that's fine. But if you tell me I got to give up multiple draft picks, multiple young guys, multiple veterans, no, man. I'm sorry. I'm not giving up a world of stuff off this roster to acquire one guy. And a guy that still has yet to prove to me that he can do it in the key moments. I mean, James Harden is known more for his beard and his failures in the playoffs than he is for being a winner. Because he's not considered a winner. So that's your answer right there, Troy. In reality, I want nothing to do with Harden. I'm fine with the status quo. And if you do have the space for Giannis next year, well, we have until the 21st of this month. If he doesn't sign the extension by the 21st, we have our answer. Miami has a shot in the offseason for Giannis. If he signs, well, guess what? Now you're liquid. You still have the flexibility. Let's find out if from now to the end of this upcoming season, there's another disgruntled star that comes forward. And if that happens, then you're in play. But there's no way in the world that I'm letting go of a whole bunch of young guys and draft picks when now they have figured out how to use draft picks and how to use young guys and develop it. And that's all because of Spo. Spo's influence on Riley has helped out immensely. Because obviously Riley's set in his ways. And he screwed Spo, and he set his franchise back when he reverted back to his old ways of thinking that Whiteside, big center, stop, the paint, all of that. He'll become the guy, and he never became the guy because he wasn't this kind of big man. So to me, you got to stay on this track. This is the track you got to stay on. Okay? If I can get Giannis, then I'm going to get a quality individual that wants to work hard as hell for his team and his teammates. Now I'm good. But that's not what you get with James Harden. You get a guy that's about him. Let's see. What do we have here? Clifton says, what's up, Big O and Bill? Kyrie is nuts. Yes, he is. Herman says, Big O, I can be really honest. I don't like the Rodriguez in for Alex Dono. The guy trashes the Dolphins' O-line, too. Well, hey, Herman, you can't like everybody, my brother, okay? It's going to be hard, but, Jim's an L.A. guy, but he's cool. And just give him some time. He'll grow on you. He'll be fine. He's a really good dude, and he's one of the main reasons why he's also on is because he brings a sports investment angle to the broadcast. And I want to add that more than anything to the station. In fact, I'm trying to find the right degenerate to put between 8 and 10 in the evenings. Haven't found that person yet. I'm looking for the right woman or the right man for that position. John Santos says, Big O, I hate LeBron for how he left Miami. I'm sorry, but I can't forgive him. I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. I'm not forgiving him. I don't plan on forgiving him. Now, if he wants to come back here and help us win 5 straight, then I'll think about,
Oh, you're not going to open him up, open arms, come on back, get us some titles?
No, come back after the 5th title.
Not after the
I will then consider, letting him off
Is that 3 in addition to the original 2? You want 5 in a row?
5 extra.
5 new ones.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
If he brings us 5,
I just want to clarify.
Then I will consider letting him off the hook.
Yeah, you have stayed strong and
I'll
firm.
never let that son of a bitch off. No.
You've never wavered, bro.
Screw him. No. Screw him. No, dude, once you screw my people, I'm done with you, bro. I'm done. You mess with my family.
You mess with one of us, you mess with all of us.
Yeah, you mess with my family, you mess with my friends, you mess with my teams, you mess with my city. You're done, bro. You're done. I'm not letting you off the hook. Let's see. Jeffrey Vincent says, Harden could not win with Russell, Chris Paul, Kevin Durant, because he is a cancer. He does not fit our culture, which is selfless basketball. I'm with you, Jeffrey. Mario says, great caveat, Big O. Would love to hand Queen James a final series loss with Harden. Exactly. Okay. Let's see. Raging Dolphin Maniac says, not working holiday hours today. Acquiring Harden is such a short-sighted move. Would much rather go with the youth movement and create a sustainable success. James, you hit on it, bro, because that's what it's all about. It's not about 1 year. It's about several. It's about being in the mix again this year like you were last year now. And in this environment, Miami's going to be in it. And if Precious develops, then we're going to be much better. And if KZ Okpala is really the real deal, then we'll be even better than that. And if any of the other 2 young guys that they got can develop into something, then they can be a monster team. So I would rather count right now on their scouting eye, their coaching development, and everything that they've got going on, because the world has changed. See, where James is on to something with his point of view. When I was younger, and Bill, and some of you out there, we got to watch Patrick Ewing for 3 to 4 years, and Michael Jordan for 3 to 4 years, right? So we kind of knew who Kenny Anderson was because we got to watch him for 3 or 4 years. We know what Larry Johnson's all about because we got to watch him for 3 or 4 years. We knew who Stacey Augmon is because we got to watch him for 3 to 4 years. Do I need to just keep reeling off the names?
Zoe.
It's all the same.
Yeah.
The point is, it was a lot easier to scout a player then because you got to see them in all kinds of tournaments, in all kinds of big moments, and you got to see whether they succeeded, they failed, they won, they lost, they got hurt, they got healthy, whatever it is. They were durable, they're not durable, they're soft, they're mentally strong, they're amazing in the clutch, they suck in the clutch, they're great rebounders, they're terrible rebounders, they're great defenders, they're terrible defenders. You found out everything about a player after 3 or 4 years. You had a very good idea who you were drafting. Okay? Now, you don't see the kid anymore. Now he comes straight out of high school, somewhere from Europe, or he plays in college for a year. How in the hell do you know what he is? He's never played at a higher level than high school. So in high school, usually the stud players, star players, semi-stud players, they're abusing everybody in high school. But that's because they're so much better. But then they run into college where everybody's kind of equal to them, and then we find out who they are. And then they go to the NBA where everybody's elite, and then you really find out who they are. Well, if you miss that middle part, it's really hard to figure out where is your development physically and mentally. So it seems like now this Heat organization is doing better than most in scouting players and figuring out who they are before the player can even figure out who they are. Because it's an arms race now between 30 teams with very little information. And you've got to maximize the little information you have, that have the foresight to try to then think who this player can be down the line. And so far, Miami has been able to steal Kendrick Nunn off somebody's roster. They found the Carlos Silva off the street. They drafted a Bam Adebayo just on the fringes of the lottery. A Tyler Hero on the fringes of the lottery. It's a lot different than watching Dwayne Wade as a senior at Marquette, because he's a senior. You watched him for 4 years, okay? So you saw him in all kinds of situations. You had a better idea of who he was. But it's few and far between the players that are staying for 3 or 4 years now. So it's so much harder now to scout these guys. And if Miami has an in right now on this, where they're hitting on people, I say you stay with this. Because this is the word that James Roman used, sustainable. Because this is your environment. And let me tell you something. They hit on Josh Richardson, who was a second rounder. Now you're getting Precious at, what is it, number 20 was in the draft, I believe? If you hit on number 20 and you're hitting on second rounders and you're hitting on street free agents and you're hitting on the periphery of the lottery, my Lord, you know how difficult that is? That was something we used to complain about with Riley early on in his run here, because he depended strictly on free agency and trades. And all he ever used draft picks were for leverage to trade. And if he had a young guy, he'd give him up quickly for a veteran. That's not Spo. Spo likes the young guys. Spo likes to develop the young guys with the rest of his coaching staff. Spo likes versatility. Spo likes the freedom of playing any position. All of the things that maybe Riley was not in certain areas of coaching, Spo is the opposite. And it's the opposite, and it's also the strength now that they've developed in this organization. So if you're better than most at finding players in the hardest spots to find players, then you fit perfect with the environment. So why give away assets? Why give away assets that you can then double and triple? Why give away your 2025 and 2027 draft picks? That doesn't make any sense. Keep them. You actually can draft now. So let's get back, stay on the course, get back to the point where you have draft picks every year, because we're not there yet. A couple of years left. I think that 26 season is the last one where you've got no more first-rounders that you've given away. And then from 27 on, you're going to be having all your draft picks. They don't have one next year. And I think they have one the following year. I'm just saying, to me, that's the reason why I would stay status quo, and I want nothing to do with James Harden. I can have fun and tell you, yeah, I'll take James Harden if I can beat the Lakers, next year in the finals and hand LeBron a loss. That would be awesome. That might be worth the long run with young guys.
The other thing about the draft picks, like we talked about with football, it is a cap game, and you're cap friendly when you got rookie contracts.
Yep. Yeah. No, you're right.
There's an added bonus.
I'm with you all the way. Let's see. What else do we have? Bromar says, screw Harden. Rockets have been trying to build a winner around him and nothing. Alex asks, do you think Belichick's success is a cause of Brady? No, he's a great coach, man. But Brady helped him win the titles, yes. Without Brady, he doesn't win the titles, okay? He'd be lucky to have one. But Brady's a monster, and you got to give him a lot of credit. But no, Belichick's still a damn good coach. Don't get me wrong here. He's one of the great ones of all time, if not the best.
You've said it in the past, and I like the way it was termed. He makes up for all of the Patriots' shortcomings, and it isn't like they didn't have shortcomings. But Brady made up for it, right?
A ton. But I got to tell you, nobody is enjoying the Patriots' demise more than I am. Okay? I'm just so tired of watching them win, and the move with Brady, I just knew it would explode like it would be an exploding cigar on Belichick. And I'm on record here all year saying they're going to struggle to be 8-8. There were a lot of people that thought they were going to be really impactful with Cam Newton. And I was laughing at those people. Okay? I don't know if they're all going to come out now and say, hey, I really thought that the acquisition of Cam Newton, and the problem was, did you watch Cam? Do you see him? Because he's not a good passer. So what did you expect? That he was going to continue to run on the NFL? It gets to a point where it gets old, and it's easy to defend, and it's easy to figure out. Lamar Jackson, who's a much more dynamic runner than Cam Newton ever will be. Cam is a power guy, but Lamar is lightning fast, and yet they figured him out too. He's still getting some yards running, but he's not killing you anymore with the arm. Or they figured out the few routes that he throws, and then that's it. And they take him completely out of his game. So I am loving the demise of the Patriots. And I know that Belichick's one of the greatest coaches, if not the greatest coach of all time. But I still think that without a quarterback, your team has to be incredibly dominant in order to win it all. And the Patriots were never that team. And they had several defections at the beginning of the year because of COVID-19. I'm not surprised with any of this. I didn't believe in the Patriots, and I certainly did not believe in them just because they acquired Cam Newton. That was just weak. Yes.
We have something that's right up this alley.
Oh, yeah? What do you got?
This is from last night.
Okay.
It's over in New England.
That's not my call. I'm just doing what I'm asked. I just still going to each and every week with the mentality to keep getting better, and that's what I plan on doing.
You're going to stick with Cam next week at quarterback?
Great question, Mike. I'm really glad you asked that. Cam's our quarterback. You know, we were out coached, out played, out everything really. They did a good job in all the areas. You know, we just have to, all do a better job. Start with me. But so we didn't do anything well enough to win tonight, so we all got to do a better job.
There you go. He's as stubborn as it gets. Now, I think part of this is I don't think he has any confidence in Jarrett Stidham. Stidham came in and it was 5 of 7 for 27 yards. He's green, man. He didn't play a lot last year. It's just, and I think that once he benches Cam, it's a terrible look for Bill. Because you altered everything you did in the offseason, right? You kept talking up Jarrett Stidham. You went and signed Brian Hoyer, which, again, I remember was at the beginning of the year, who was it? Well, Brian Hoyer's a veteran. Brian Hoyer sucks. I don't give a crap that he's a veteran. It was like yesterday. Did you watch the game yesterday? Well, the Patriots can't win with this limited offense. Dude, just say it. The Patriots can't win with a limited Cam Newton. Not a limited offense, a limited quarterback. And it's just like the crap with Brian Hoyer. Well, Brian Hoyer is a veteran. That's just code for, I don't really want to tell you what I really think about Brian Hoyer, but let me find some kind of a positive feature. He's a veteran. He knows the offense. That's what they said about Brian Hoyer. Well, he knows the offense. He's been in the Patriots. He's a veteran. Yeah, but can he play? Well, that's a whole other subject, I mean, come on, dude. Well, last night, limited offense, they must have said limited offense like 4 or 5 times throughout the broadcast. And I'm laughing my ass off. It's like, bro, you guys can grow a pair of cojones and just say what you want to really say. This is what I hate about this corporate-led crap that we've got going on in our business. Those guys are on the air, and they're a bunch of cowards because the league they're in bed with the NFL. They pay the rights fees, so they don't want to be pissing people off by actually telling the truth. Because you're not insulting anybody, and I'm talking about anyone's intelligence. I don't care if Cam feels insulted. That's his problem, not mine. He's the limited one. He's going to have to deal with the comments. But that's kind of this whole crap. Well, we can't be honest. Oh, limited offense. Get the hell out of here. Limited quarterback, terrible decision by Bill Belichick. That's what you got to say. Bill let Brady go and had no plan to replace him. That's what you got to say. Bill had a misguided confidence in Cam Newton. That's what you got to say. Cam Newton is not a good passer. That's what you got to say. Notice that the one receiver that catches balls last night was N'Keal Henry, the big target. Well, the Patriots are loaded with midgets at wide receiver. Tom Brady was accurate. Cam Newton is not. That's what you got to say. But it's one of those things that they're afraid of saying the truth. In the middle of all the Lamar Jackson hype last year, did you ever see me get on that hype bandwagon? Nope. Stuck to my guns. I told you, he's not much of a passer, and eventually he'll get exposed. Guess what's happened all year? Where are all those people thinking that Lamar Jackson was the second coming at quarterback? And he's actually still fortunate, let me tell you. Not that I wish it, but the injury's coming. You can't run that much and not get injured as a quarterback. Eventually, somebody's going to catch you. So not only does he get exposed as a poor passer, eventually somebody's going to break him in half because they do it to RG3. They do it to all quarterbacks that live on their legs. Cam Newton is one of them. They've broken his big ass in half already. And that's why his game doesn't fly. Because in the end, you're not going to run in this league for a living at quarterback. I'm sorry. You might be able to get away with it for a couple of years, but eventually you're going to pay a price.
Got a question for you here.
Yeah.
Because he was on the coaching market one of the hottest commodities. Does this hurt Josh McDaniels' stock?
No.
Because of what's happened to the offense this year.
No, because
it doesn't totally reflect on him.
Yeah, it's Belichick's decision to bring Cam in, and you can't make chicken salad out of chicken.
S.
Yeah, I think you know where I was going.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So is it that what's his name's,
that
our
is
guy that loved to be at the racetrack?
that is Gary Stevens.
Oh, okay.
Gary Stevens. Kevin Ding, reporter for, I think it's now the Orange County Register, I believe, in Los Angeles. He's been on the Lakers beat for about 15 years easily. And he was working for the Miami Herald. So the offense was struggling under Jimmy. And Kevin asked Gary Stevens, no, it might have been the early part of Wanstead, not Jimmy. Yeah, I think that's what it was. It was the early first year, 2 or 3 of Wanstead. And, they had offensive issues. Their defense was special. But the offense, whenever Gary Stevens was there, okay, before those two, I think, had a difference. And they broke up. So Kevin Ding is like asking him about the offense and the struggles. And that's where Gary Stevens gives him the famous line, you can't expect me to make chicken salad out of chicken.
Bleep.
And, for a coach to say that, dude, that's
a total indictment.
that is just, it's golden for the reporter. But, yeah, it was Kevin Ding, Miami Herald, and it was very early 2000s.
Things are never the same after saying that in your locker room, right?
Yeah, no.
It's tarnished forever.
No. Gary Stevens was a trip, man. I like covering Gary Stevens. With Gary he's just a character. And when you would ask him I remember I pulled him aside a couple times, and, I would ask him, and he'd like, oh, come on, oh, why are you doing this to me? Oh, come on. And we're on the side of the field, but we're away from everybody. But all of a sudden, when he's doing that, everybody's looking over like, oh, what did O do to him?
You're trying to keep it under the radar, and he's throwing it up there.
Yeah, because I'm trying to get some sound that's not with the group. You know what I mean? Not with the gangbang. Not with all the other media members, because then they're going to get my sound. And so I was trying to get my own sound bite, and I was actually doing a pregame interview with him. And so some of the questions in there, sometimes we will use some of those sound bites, because if they say something newsworthy, and Gary Stevens is a guy that will speak his mind. I like Gary a lot, man. I really do. I like him a lot. He's a cool dude. At least for me, I can't speak for everybody. I can only tell you that personally, I like Gary Stevens. Jay says Harden at 32 is not worth that Houston would ask for in a trade. I agree. John Rouse is in the house, says Harden, us going to be another Carmelo. I can see that. I can definitely see that. Alexis says, Big O, just curious, besides X, Jason Sanders, and Ogba, which Dolphins deserve Pro Bowl recognition? Eric Rowe. I don't know if there's a position for him, because he's kind of a specialist covering tight ends, but damn, he's He's Pro Bowl caliber covering tight ends. No, let's see. Seriously, I'm trying to think of who else could be in the Pro Bowl besides you put X, Sanders, and Ogba. Well, wait a minute. The corner on the other side, Jones.
Byron?
Yeah.
That'd be the Byron Jones?
Byron's played really well. Okay. You don't catch a lot of balls on Byron Jones. That would be the other guy that I would tell you might deserve some Pro Bowl recognition. Both the corners have played outstanding.
Special teams play causing a turnover, maybe
I got something for you.
Van Ginkel?
Well, maybe that actually is that. Well,
Needham,
Matt Collins is also a really good special teams player. I got something for you.
How about a Needham in the slot?
You just read me. You just read my mind.
Yeah.
How many slot corners have 3 interceptions?
Good minds think alike, my brother.
How many nickels have 3 interceptions right now in the NFL season? Nick Needham's got it. So nickel corner, they might end up using a 1 or a 2 and put him in the nickel. You know what I'm saying? But if it was just a nickel slot corner, Nick Needham might be the guy.
Nobody from the offense can sneak in.
No.
Unless there's a major rash of injuries, right?
No. There's no injuries to save them.
It's
no.
Not even a Gesicki.
No. Gesicki,
if you get to the 5th or 6th tight end, maybe in the AFC.
Yeah, he's pretty good, but he's not there at the Pro Bowl level yet.
They're not playing a game this year anyway, so it isn't like players are going to be going, no, I don't want to go. Right?
Yep.
So you're going to get the named guys, and they're going to be like, hey, I'm a Pro Bowler, and that's it. There ain't going to be the usual, funneling down to the 5th, 6th, 7th guy.
Exactly. Rosendo says, good afternoon, folks. Can someone tell me what are the positives of getting Harden? Julius did hit on it. Strip clubs in South Beach will boom. That's actually pretty good.
The only thing about it is the better strip clubs are not located on South Beach, right?
Right.
I mean,
David Iglesias texts Trump 2020. I think that was a loss, my man. I think some of you out there need to kind of catch up to reality and realize the guy got his ass kicked. Move on. The only player I'd be willing to gut the team for is Giannis. I'm with you. Giannis is the guy because, character-wise, he fits what we do here. Belichick not only lost his fastball, he forgot where he put it. That's what the Raging Dolphin Maniac says. Ian says Cam is washed. Rosendo says that a lot of New England defensive players opt out this. Well, a couple. Not Hightower, Chung. There's one more, I believe. I think it's 3 guys. But, just those 2 guys, Hightower and Chung, are pretty enormous for them. Let's see. Big O, they're wearing the throwbacks on Sunday. One, if not the best uniforms in the league. They should be permanent. Miami Kid J, I think the old logo will come back. It will come back. Couple years. Give it a couple years, and you'll see it. Dolphin 13 says, I believe Miami has the right players and system to beat Kansas City this week. We are probably the most physical team they will face so far this year. Miami has to go at least 2-2 to make the playoffs. They'll beat Oakland and the Patriots, guaranteed. The Bills is going to be the tough one, and they can win that one. Let me tell you something. What's going to go on in this game, if you want to beat KC, it's going to come down to the defensive backs. That secondary that we just talked about, X and Byron Jones and Nick Needham, okay, and Eric Rowe covering tight ends, and Brandon Jones and Bobby McCain and all these cats they're the key to this entire game on Sunday. If they cover, that allows Ogba and company to go pressure Mahomes. If they don't cover, it will allow Mahomes to tear them up. If they cover, then they can keep the scoring down, which can keep Miami's offense in the game. But it's all on the secondary. The secondary will make the front seven better. It's not really the other way around. Okay? Agba and company have had a good year, but I would say that they've had a good year because the secondary is absolutely amazing for the Miami Dolphins. They will have to play the best game of the season to be competitive on Sunday. But it's all on the secondary.
There's only one component about the rush, though. That you got to contain him. Even
but
you can't let him just get out.
He's not the running type.
But
he'll buy time back there, and when he runs, it's because there was nothing left over. But yeah, of course.
But when he runs, he scores like touchdowns from the 8 and converts to third and 8 or third. Those are the backbreakers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But they will not lose the game because of his legs. They will lose the game.
In other words, there's no reason to put a spy.
No.
But you want to kind of keep him in between the tackles.
Yeah.
Don't let him get outside.
Yeah. But more important than that is covering Tyreek Hill.
Oh, yeah.
And Hardeman and
no doubt.
Watkins and
that is
Kelsey.
Priority one.
Yes. That's the priority. The priority is to slow down their passing game. You're not going to stop it because, dude, it's Andy Reid designing it. It's Pat Mahomes throwing it, and it's Tyreek Hill, and it's Kelsey, and it's Watkins, and Hardeman. It's a pain in the ass.
If you keep them at 28 points, you've done an amazing job. That's nuts.
And you've got Hilaire and Le'Veon Bell coming out of the backfield who can actually catch passes too. This is a very, very versatile offense, but it's all on the secondary in this game. Everything's about them. Those guys play well, they got a shot to win the game. If the secondary for Miami does not show up and they give up plays, it'll be a long day. It'll be really difficult to actually pick up a victory. It'll be near impossible, actually. But if they come to ball and they find a way to slow those guys down, then Miami stays in this game and Miami has a slim shot. Okay? I don't expect them to win, but I'm not going to sit here and be shocked if they won because I told you. That means their secondary kicked ass. And if their secondary kicked ass, then Miami has a shot to win. But it's all on those guys.
If you hold them to 28 points, you've done a hell of a job, right?
Yep.
That's crazy. Just follow up on the Patriot thing. They had 8 guys opt out. Obviously, the 3 big ones that you mentioned, but
I mentioned 2 is Chung and Hightower.
They had
there
a
was
tackle,
one more.
Marcus Cannon.
That's it. Marcus Cannon is the other one.
The Hightower, Patrick Chung,
Right.
tight end Matt Lacrosse, running back Brandon Bolden, fullback receiver Marquise Lee, and a guard Najee Torin.
Like I said,
But it was the
these are
most.
3 guys.
It was the most. But yeah, you named the big 3.
I got 2. I forgot Cannon. I knew there was a third one, but it was Cannon. Those are the 3 important ones that they really lost to COVID because those guys opted not to play. Just when I thought New England was getting better and they were playing solid football yesterday, they lost. Let's see what else. Rosendo says the Dolphins offense needs to do a better job since field goals are not going to win this game. No. No field goals here, man. Super V says, Big O, speaking of bad quarterback play, what do you think about the Carson Wentz situation? Super V, I've already talked about this many times already. There's a couple segments there already. He lost all his confidence. I've been saying this for several weeks now. He's gone. It's over for him. I don't know what football god is out there, what psychologist is out there, but somebody's got to help Carson Wentz with his confidence. And like I said a while back on my rant, he's a religious guy too. Be careful with religious guys. Slow your roll. This doesn't mean anything negative. I'm not taking any shots at religion. All I'm saying is people that are really religious are grounded. And they understand that life and family and things like that are more important than football. The only problem is that Carson Wentz plays with people that they are convinced football is more important than everything else, because that's how they think in that league. So it's really, really, really a fine line that you walk sometimes with religious people, because they're a little smarter than the rest of us in that case about life. Because it is true. Life, family, there are way more important things than our jobs. But unfortunately, we are stuck in a world where sometimes you work to live. You don't live to work. You know what I mean? And that's the sad part. Everybody in football works to live. People that are grounded live to work. It's just the way it is.
Does this Jalen Hurts start against what's been like the best defense the last 5 weeks look like feeding the Christians to the Lions in Roman times?
Well,
wow.
It just gets, the other guy isn't going to do anything anyways. So you might as well, the other guy's been giving stuff away. Like
at least you got something possible.
I mean, Carson Wentz with a beard looks like Kris Kringle. He's been giving stuff away all season long. So it doesn't matter what defense you face. Carson was going to stink it out anyway, so go with Jalen Hurts and give him a shot.
Yeah, but that's some massive challenge to throw at that kid.
Hey,
our
kid had to play the Rams, and now he's playing the Chiefs.
You know what? It's very similar. You're right about that.
Yeah, you got to graduate at one point. You got to move on.
Man, the Saints have been kicking butt on D for the last 5-6 men. Wow.
I feel the majority of Dolphin fans like Omar Kelly and Dave Hyde are waiting for the traditional Dolphins letdown movement. A moment. I listen to you so I can remain hopeful. Listen, Jeffrey, it's not about hope anymore, bro. I think we're way past that. We used to hope 5 years ago and 8 years ago and 10 years ago and 13 years ago when we had a modicum of success. We were hoping that it was real. This is real, Jeffrey. There's no hope here, dude. We don't need hope. Okay? I remember when I left QAM, or they fired me, however you want to look at it. I remember one of the sales guys shook my hand, looked at me, and said, "Hey, man, good luck." And I looked at him back, and I said, "I don't need luck. I'll be fine, bro. I got work ethic. I kick ass. I'll be all right." And I have been more than fine since I left. I've been better off than I was at QAM any day of the week and twice on Sundays. Since I left, anybody that follows me, you know that I was pissed off at QAM a lot. And I've been it's like a burden was lifted off my shoulders since I left that corporate terrible environment that they have going on there. This is not about us sitting here waiting for the other shoe to drop. The Dolphins have a really good organization now. And I've been telling people for about a year now, everyone else will find out, we have one of the best front offices in the NFL. A year ago, I could not tell you about Flo because we were just finding out about him. And now it looks like we actually have a really good coach, too, on top of all of that, which is the reason why we have a great front office, because they can not only find players, they can also find a head coach. Wow, what a concept. So I would tell you, Jeffrey, stop with that. We're not in a hope anymore, bro. We don't need hope. Okay? We just need an opportunity, and we'll go kick ass. That's it. There's no more hope. Okay? This is the real deal right now with the Miami Dolphins.
To emulate exactly that feeling, I can remember the playoff game against Pittsburgh. And you're all excited because you're in the playoffs, and you know what I mean? You wake, and the game starts at 1. And, man, right from the beginning,
by 110,
all hope was, destroyed.
Yeah, by 110, you're done.
And it, somewhere around the second, going into the halftime, you're like, I got all excited for this,
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Anthony Manzano says, Jason Sanders, I honestly don't think it's going to make the Pro Bowl because of Harrison Bugner and from Kansas City and the kicker from Denver. Whether he makes or he doesn't, you know what he's going to make is a lot of money. And you know what he's going to make for us, Anthony? Game-winning field goals. That's all that matters, man. Whether he makes the Pro Bowl or not, that's his problem, not mine. I'm just glad we got the guy. But you're probably right. He does have some competition. Steve D'Onofrio Jr., what about the chance of the Bills already won the division before we play them in Week 17? Could we see Barkley at QB and backups for an easy, hopeful win? Steve D'Onofrio Jr., is that what you want? Think about that. Think about that statement. Is that really what you want? Or do you want to beat the Patriots in Week 17 in their house and force them to play in the wild card round with Tom Brady? So, Steve, where you and I disagree is, I'm not looking for the easy way out, dude. I want to beat the Bills with Josh Allen. And I'm not hoping for the Bills to have it sealed by the time Miami meets them. So that's where you and I are going to disagree on this one. I'm not hoping to see Barkley. I'm not hoping to see an easy game. I'm hoping to see the best of the Bills because that's the only way we're going to see the best of the Dolphins and measure them. If they beat Barkley and the Bills, it will mean nothing. If they beat Josh Allen and the Bills, it means everything.
As they used to say, for all the marbles.
Yeah.
You want them up for grabs.
Yep. Even if we lose against KC, I just want to see the team compete, control possession and ball, and offense needs to execute. I agree. Medellin, Hialeah, and Kendall in the house. Fins up. Vamos con todo versus KC. Let's see. New York City Sports says, Big O, the New York Daily News, got rid of your boy Manish Mehta. The Jets, as well as the local intercom station here in New York, hated him. What happened with Manish? I had just heard the story about he was like investigating something. I got to look it up. I got to see what happened. I don't know what happened. I don't have the story, but I heard something about he was investigating another coach when he shouldn't, or following somebody or something, or well, at least allegedly. I'm not sure. I have not seen the story.
This to the level of like a private investigator?
Yeah, something went on. I'm not exactly sure. I got to keep up with the story. And you know what? Tomorrow we'll talk about it from Canesware. How about that? I'll get more of the information on it because I already started the show. I have no idea. I'll follow up and I'll talk about it tomorrow. Okay?
I'm just realizing you're 58 minutes in, bro, and this is hour number 4 for you today.
Yes.
So
yeah, we're all right.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, let's take a
save
quick
something
break
for the voice because we also got a show tomorrow, like you pointed out, at Canesware.
All right, let's take a quick break here. Let me rest the voice for 2 minutes, and we'll come back. We'll answer any of your questions. Got some stuff here to talk about. Back with more right here on the Big O Show, live from Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Hey, it's Big O for all of your CBD, THC, or hookah needs. You got to get on down to VSS West Pines at 12397 Pembroke Road. Yes, they have got legal THC. You've got to check it out. And they've got, of course, when it comes to CBD, flower, tinctures, edibles, for all kinds of reasons, whether it's pain, stress, anxiety, you name it. And don't forget, when you mention my name, you'll get 20% off. Tell the boys out there that I told you to get on down to VSS West Pines, 12397 Pembroke Road, and call them 954-613-3367. Legal THC, CBD, all of your hookah needs. You go to VSS West Pines.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com. A travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, Southside Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNogoZones.com.
Hey, it's Big O for EJD Construction. Listen, I've been telling you about Eric for a long time now. Custom home builder for additions, home remodeling. We're not talking about a handyman. Maybe you want to redo that man cave. We're not going to a lot of live sporting events. So you want to improve that experience in your man cave? Call them 305-433-4843. Tell them that Big O sent you and go to the Instagram page. You can see the before and after there. You'll be impressed. EJD_construction. Call them 305-433-4843 or go to the website ejdconstruction.com.
America's premium sports sedan is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. PLX $259 a month, $259 at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
We're back. Hour number 2 here as we head down the home stretch. Hope you all are doing well. We're going to hear from Coach Flores in just a minute. DeAndre Washington will be available, so he'll join Gaskins and Laird on the field on Sunday. DeAndre Washington, remember, came from Kansas City. He was traded from Kansas City to Miami. Emmanuel Ogbah should be also very motivated for this game as a former Chief. In fact, I had let me see. It wasn't. What was it? It might have been. No, it might have been Therese Paylor that was on this week with me on the Onside Zone, and he said that he was very interested in the Ogbah move because he thought Ogbah really showed that he had turned the corner last year, and so we get him, and look what's happened already this year. So that's actually really cool. So Ogbah should be very motivated. Van Noy and Landon Roberts are both questionable for this game. Flowers is out, so that means the 3 rookies will be in the lineup. Is also out at running back, so you're missing a couple people. Flowers, obviously, with the ankle. Thank God it's the ankle. I thought, man, I felt like it was an Achilles tendon. The way he needed help off the field and everything, I was terrified that it was an Achilles tendon. It's an ankle. Hopefully it's not too bad. Maybe it's a high ankle sprain. That's why he needed help, because those high ankle sprains are brutal, dude. Putting any weight on a high ankle sprain, if it's really bad, it is painful, okay? A normal ankle sprain, it hurts, but you could kind of get by it, because I know I've had both, and the high ankles are the worst. Salvan Ahmed is dealing with the shoulder injury, so he's out. Van Noy has got the hip, and Landon Roberts has the chest. They're both questionable. Now, they had limited practices, which doesn't mean much with this coach now, okay? I've learned my lesson now about limited. Limited doesn't mean jack when it comes to Coach Flo. Let's see, what else do we have? Big O, we have the best secondary in the league, and we'll show the world come Sunday. Book it, 27-24. I love your confidence, Tyrone. What else do we have here? Bromar says, Manish Mehta told the truth about the Jets, and he gets canned. That sucks. Is that what it was? I don't know, but, I mean, he always tells the truth about the Jets. Let's see. Devontae Parker, Preston Williams, and Gaskins are solid, big, strong possession receivers, but Miami needs that receiver that will scare the other defenses down the field. Yeah, that'll come in the draft, man. The running back will come, the speed wide receiver, another lineman, another D lineman, a free safety. They got like 12 picks in the next draft. They got plenty of picks to fill the other needs that they have on this team. Now they got to hit on them too, but hey, we've been watching that they can hit on some picks. People take and misuse the word religion is an established made up of a social structure to manipulate your mind and feelings. And I didn't really talk about manipulation. I kind of just talked about being grounded. That's what I kind of meant. If you didn't understand what I said, as I said, most religious people actually understand that our work isn't the most important thing in the world. Games aren't the most important thing in the world. You know what I mean? Going out isn't the most important thing in the world. Your family, your health, you know what I mean? It's just, I said grounded. I think I said it. So, Carson Wentz is dealing with a whole bunch of crazy people. That's what's in football. Crazy people. I mean, think about it. You want to ram into somebody else head on? That's not normal.
Sign me up for getting into a major car accident every week.
Every week.
Is what they say.
Yeah, you want to stop Aaron Donald? No, that's not normal. It's just not normal.
I want to try to tackle Derrick Henry.
Yep, that's normal. That's normal. Let's see. Bromar says, I haven't heard Omar say the Dolphins are selling hope this year. Yeah, no, there's no hope here, bro. This is the real deal. The Finns are definitely real. They just aren't on the Chiefs level yet. They will be in another year or two. I'm with you, Ragin. I'm with you. Bromar says, QAM and 790 suck for local sports talk. I'm with you. Damn right, Bromar. They blow. QAM was holding your greatness back. Facts. No, they were just trying to hold me back, period. That's all. Willie says, I disagree but respect the opinion. Okay. When Big O went to work for QM every day, he showed up wheeling his balls around like the South Park meme guy with his balls in a wheelbarrow. Damn right. Let's see. What else do we have? Big O, have you ever heard Dolphins Talk podcast? I have not heard it. Send me a link or something. Send it to Alzugaray at onsideradio.com. Alzugaray at onsideradio.com. If you ever have any email you want to send me, send it there. Okay? What else do we have here? And Orlando at BigORadioShow.com is my other email too. Big O, when you left QM, I left with you, brother. I like Hockman's show, but hated Joe Rose. Biggest Dolphin apologist. Joe's a good dude, bro. Give Joe a chance, Miami Kid J. He's a good dude, man. Let's see what else. But QAM does suck. The reason I ask about the Dolphins talk, it's because that guy takes cheap and personal shots at players. Okay. I don't know anything about it. I have no idea, man. I don't have a lot of time in the day. I spend it working a lot, and then when I get home, I try to just hang out with my family, my dogs. So it's, I'm kind of tied up every day, man. I'm telling you. Man, we finally tuned in live, and you got up and walked away, and we got on. But I'm here, man. I got to go to the bathroom. I was on for an hour straight on the Finn side. Give me a break here. I gotta relieve myself a little bit here. What else do we have here? I disagree with you on that one, Big O. I believe it starts off by putting pressure on Mahomes constantly. That's the start. My brother, you will not put pressure if the secondary's not covering. It's pretty simple. If the secondary doesn't cover, you will. It doesn't matter how much you blitz, how much you rush. A guy like Mahomes will get rid of it like that. So if your slot corner isn't stopping the guy from finding a hole in the middle of the defense, you lose. If the outside corners can't stay with the guys, Mahomes will find them, you lose. Because if they see that it's a blitz, then they're going to call a hot route, and they're gonna slant in quickly, and he'll get rid of it. And you can blitz all you want, and if Eric Rowe cannot stay with Travis Kelce, you will get burned. I'm telling you that in this game, the most important thing is the secondary. The secondary drives the front seven. It will control this game, or at least you have a shot to control the game and stay in it. It's the secondary, not the front seven. You will see. Because that secondary is not doing their job. Our boys are completely screwed. We will not see what we want, a competitive game. Okay? Big old Cowboys fan here in Texas. Tell me the Dolphins aren't good and that this season is a fluke. They said that when the Cowboys get a real coach, they will crush it with players they have. Well, that'll never happen, Derek, because as long as you have Jerry Jones there, you will never get a real coach. You will always get one puppet after another. That's the problem. You can't cut your coach's knees off by holding a press conference every game after everybody else. Jerry, until he lets go of that mic, I mean, look, it's consistent. Jerry hasn't won squat. He won only because he brought Jimmy there. That's it. Let's see. No, we have the interview there. On the Finn side said, Joe Rose is a great dude, legitimately. Yeah, man. Joe's a good dude, bro. Big O wasn't harping on about the Carson and the religion thing, was just distinguishing spiritual relationships with whatever higher power and religious folks. Let's see. Fort Bragg is in the house again. Rowe versus Kelsey, secondary versus Tyreek, and Miami's red zone offenses are the three criticals in this one. I would have to agree with that. That is definitely very, very critical. Critical. It's so critical. Love it. All right, let's hear from Flo. You got Flo there for me? Yes, sir. Let's hear from Coach Flo. It's a short one. It's like just under 4 minutes. So it doesn't look like there's a lot of, it's probably just clearing up who's playing, who's not playing, and all that stuff. Kind of the stuff I already told you about. But let's hear from Flo. I don't think there's any earth-shattering stuff from it. Are you ready there, Bill? Go ahead, fire off, Coach Flo.
Hey, Brian, we saw Kyle Van Noy and Landon Roberts back at practice today. Could you provide an update on their status for Sunday's game?
Yeah, they'll be, I'll just give everybody. They'll be questionable. It was good to get both guys out there, today. Get some reps. It was good. It was good to get them both out there. They'll be questionable. E. Flowers is out, and Ahmed didn't practice, and he'll be out as well.
Brian, I wanted to ask you about Jakeem turning up on the injury report with the back injury. Was that related to those 2 punt returns where penalties were called? And is he going to be able to return punts this weekend?
He'll do it all.
Yeah, Jakeem, I mean, like everyone, on this team that's playing, just got bumps and bruises from, just really just playing. He's got a big part in our offense, in our kicking game, so, everyone's got bumps and bruises. The back was a little bit of an issue. And but he's worth doing. He practiced full today. We expect him to do everything. And we'll need him, especially against this group.
Brian, I want to ask you, obviously Solomon moving to left guard was what you went to last week. What was the approach or thinking behind that? Is it because he played it at University of Georgia, or is that where Jesse feels more comfortable? Just want to get the thought process.
Just want to get the best 5 guys out there, best 11 guys out there, like we always try to do, and put the team in the best position to have some success. And have moving him over to left. Obviously, like you mentioned, he's got some familiarity over there. He's played both positions really throughout, and we felt like that was the best thing for the team.
Hi, Brian. The 10 guys who could only participate parts practice yesterday, like DeAndre Washington, all of them will play, I assume, because you didn't mention those. And also, I was going to ask you about any more elevations beyond Nate Holley. Is that something you and Chris and Brandon still need to talk about? Or are you pretty sure at this point you're fine with what you have, even if it's just 4 corners? I know, obviously, Jamal Perry on the COVID list.
First question on the injury report. So everyone else was full, minus the 4 guys I mentioned, with Kyle and Landon being limited and questionable, and the other guys being out. Then what was after that? The Nate Holley, I believe. Oh, as far as
just anyone else being brought up. Like, are you okay with only 4 corners if Jamal Perry stays on the COVID list? We're still talking through that.
We'll talk to the staff, this afternoon. Watch the film. I mean, those are obviously conversations we've had. The kicking game is a big part of that as well. So again, we can only get 48 to the game. When we bring the 8 linemen. So there's a lot of variables there. So myself, Chris, our offense and defense, and Danny is obviously a big part of that as well, Danny Crossman. So we'll have those conversations here in about, right when I'm done here, and we'll try to finalize those decisions.
There you go. That's the head coach. pretty painless, nothing really earth-shattering there, nothing really to elaborate on that was anything. Although I will say, with Eric Flowers out, the good news is that you get a lot of these young guys a lot of playing time. And in a season where you're developing a team, you're winning, you're in position to be in the playoffs, and you get to develop players, I think it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty impressive what the Dolphins are doing. Really. I mean, I don't know how much more I can praise all the things that have gone on the last 2 seasons here with this team, and how fortunate we are finally that after 20 years of just incompetence and just embarrassing the way they've run this organization, that now we've got a different kind of team here, and it's cool. It really is nice that we're so lucky that we're watching the development of Jakeem Grant, or the development of 3 offensive linemen, or a young quarterback, or a defensive tackle, or you name it, or outside linebacker or defensive end or whatever. It's just really cool that we can watch Van Ginkel make plays, and we can watch some of these guys that are Nick Needham are growing up with us, and yet they're making game-winning plays, and they're helping you win games. I think that's actually absolutely amazing. Think about this. 2020's been brutal, right? We have gone through a world of hurt here in the world, not just us, all over the world, right? And we got a team now in the Dolphins, in a way, to make a twisted analogy. Instead of 2020 has been tough on all of us, we've gone through a tough 20, and that's a tough 20 years as Dolphin fans. And we have to be grateful that in a second season of a complete rebuild, this team is already in a playoff position. Okay? I mean, that's impressive. That's a lot to be grateful for. And like I told one of you out there, I forgot who it was that brought it up, that this isn't like a fluke. It's not a fly-by-night thing. It's not a one-and-done. None of those cliches that they use. This is the real deal. This is the building block to greatness. And we're doing it in the second year of a rebuild. Come on, we didn't expect this. So we have to be grateful that this team is 8-4. They got a great shot of winning 10 games this year and a shot at getting into the playoffs. And so we get to develop players. We get to watch them develop a culture, and those guys get to go to the playoffs and pick up experience also in the postseason. It's pretty amazing. It really is. And I couldn't be more excited about this team and its future. Because next year, are you kidding me? You know how psyched we're all going to be at the draft? Because we will be at the draft together. We will meet in Cleveland. We will have a place to hang out. By then, I would expect the numbers to have gone down drastically, and maybe we might have to mask up still, and that's fine. I got no problem with that. This doesn't bother me anymore. I'm used to it. You know? The only thing that would gross me out is if I have to wear the same mask every day. Luckily, I bought several. This is the second one I wear today. I wore one for one show, and then I took it off. It's there, and I got the other one. So I got like a little basket where I throw my masks. So I can wash them. I think I'll wash mine this weekend. Got a new one, too. I got a new one.
What'd you get?
I don't want to give it away.
Oh, it's a surprise.
Yeah. I'll probably whip it out on Monday.
You see, you know what? You know what a surprise is? Is
What's
when
that?
you give something to somebody, not somebody seeing something you got and going, damn, that's nice. I'd like to have that.
I think people are intrigued on what's the next mask I'm going to wear. I mean,
Inquiring minds want to see? Is that what you're saying?
How many people
They don't want to know. They want to see.
in this weird-ass 2020, how many people do you know wear more different masks than yours truly.
We're the exception to the norm.
So there you go.
Most people are in that usual blue.
Right, they wear
very basic.
They have probably one or two that they're rotating on average. Exactly.
You know what? You know who showed up?
I'm up to like
a chance
40.
to see Mr. Rouse.
Yes.
Has a nice little
always an American
circle. Flag. No, because he had the Canes on the other day.
Oh yeah, he did have the Canes. The other day. That's right.
Yesterday I think he had a white one that was different. I mean, he's.
I usually see him with an American flag one.
Yeah,
I have like 8 of those now, of the American flag
only
ones.
8.
Yeah,
only 8.
Well, I got a 3-pack. I gave you one.
Yeah,
and then I got it. It's 10. Yeah, I got an 8-pack the other day. That were like different styles of the American flag, because I love those. Those are probably my favorite masks to wear are the American flag ones. I think they're freaking cool.
That was the shortest press conference by Flo I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's just
3 minutes and 23. You know what? I was thinking about it, man. Friday is usually like walkthrough day, right? They just walk through shorts and a helmet. Special teams. So, if you're going to have an easy practice day, make it an easy interview day. You know, they got a lot of adversity coming Sunday, okay?
Yeah.
Try to make Friday easy, bro.
Yep. Adrian Gonzalez says, what size of T-shirt do you wear? Oh, extra large, sir. But
the big O has become medium O.
No, I wish I was medium. It's extra large.
Dude, you're medium compared to what you were.
Well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
you're medium O.
I've gained some weight now, bro. I got to get back to losing some weight again. But Adrian,
you can blame it on COVID, bro.
You don't need to buy me anything, my brother. But thank you very much. It's very nice of you. Dolphin 13 says, I don't even listen to QAM anymore. It's terrible. I mean, they're piping in a whole bunch of crap. It's garbage. Outside of Joe Rose, there's nothing to listen to on that station. So yeah. Ragin says you might be able to contain Tyreek, but you can't stop him. Nobody does. No, but you can't stop that guy. Willie goes, I love Joe Rose. He's like a big quirky kid. Let's see. What else do we have? Joe got a lot of play today on the show. Mike says, I think we really need to start off on offense with a shorter field than KC does on offense all day. Well, that would help out in any game, but yes. I've got a dip, but wanted to pop in for a few. Good show from what I've seen. Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving us some love. Go Fins. Let's get this win on Sunday. Get hyped, Big O. Get hyped. Steve M is in.
Bro, you know what, man? It's a big football weekend for us. Between the Canes game tomorrow.
Huge game.
And the Dolphins on Sunday, man, this is, you know what, I've been wanting this for so long. Obviously, my sorry-ass Bears are, a letdown, but I would love to thank the Canes and the Dolphins for making this football season, not the norm that it's been the last 15, 20 years. Thank you very much.
Right. Well, listen.
Yeah, man, when was the last time we had a big weekend like this, Saturday and Sunday? Right?
No, I don't. No, not like this.
Simultaneous, the two teams. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, man, it's been a while, and this used to be the norm.
Yep. No, you're right. You're right about that. It'll be a bitch to stop Sam Howell and that offense. They got 2 running backs. They got over 900 yards each. Newsome and Brown, their receivers. We don't have a great secondary here with the Canes. Unfortunately, that's one thing that's kind of hurt them. But now their pass rush, if Jalen Phillips and Roche can get after Howell, then I think, that would definitely help out. See, with the Canes, it's the reverse of the Dolphins. The Canes have to have a great pass rush to assist their secondary and kind of hide their deficiencies. Whereas with the Dolphins, their exceptional secondary allows the front 7 to get to the quarterback. Okay? Because the strength of the Dolphin defense is the secondary, not the front 7. The strength of the Canes is the front seven, not the secondary. So it's a little bit of a different challenge for each of those defenses this week. And now, of course, the opponent's also different because Miami is playing the best team in the NFL. Canes aren't playing the best team in college football. But they're
not
playing,
even the best team in the ACC.
No, but they're still pretty good.
No.
I mean,
Hey, man, number 17.
They're 7-3, and they've got the better quarterback. Okay, that kid can play.
A guy that's going to play on Sunday. Yes, you could see this kid.
No, Sam Howell is
from last year.
Sam Howell's a stud.
He's a sophomore, right?
Yes.
He was a freshman last. Yeah, this kid hit the ground, man. You could just see he's got it.
Yeah.
You know what? I will say this because when we were texting during the game last week, and obviously you're playing Duke, so it's hard to get like, wow, yeah, look at where we. But I will say this. So I hadn't seen our secondary, corners and safeties tackle people like that in a long time.
Yep.
Now, granted, it was Duke, but man, if we can tackle like that this coming game, you know what I mean? It would be a huge improvement.
Okay.
Because we haven't tackled in our second, you know what I mean? How often do we see guys getting mauled? I mean, literally run over.
Yep.
It's bad.
All right. What do we got here? Willie says, I'm not going to get chippy if we lose, but if we lose, man, Big O, we need to believe in the construction to the future. Willie, don't worry about it, man. Even if they lose against Kansas City, what you don't want to what you want to avoid is look completely incompetent. I just want a respectable game. If they win it, fantastic. If you lose it, respectable. Okay? That's it. Competent. Let's see. Bro, your cool-ass shirt feel that Miami connection vibe? So you like, is Pearl Jam a cool-ass vibe South Florida feel? All right. Is that what you feel with this shirt? This Pearl Jam shirt?
My thought for them always down here
cool shirt.
Was them fighting Ticketmaster and being, dude, I want to say they were the last thing at Fort Lauderdale Yankee Stadium, that they were the last thing before the Yankees took off.
Yeah.
And it was such a big deal because of them battling Ticketmaster. It's almost like Metallica battling Napster back in the day. It's one of those marquee things that kind of changed the way everybody did business and looked at things.
Yeah. Jeffrey's asking, when was the last time the Dolphins won a playoff game since? Yeah, it is Marino. And I want to say it was Seattle or Indy. I'm confused now which one was first. I want to say Seattle was the last. No, how could it be Seattle? No, it had to be Indy. That's what it was. Yeah, it was Indy in the playoffs. Couldn't be Seattle. Oh, no, wait a minute. Seattle was in the AFC. So I'm right.
Yes, they were. The AFC West
that's
back
right.
in the day.
Yeah, so I'm confused that I'm going, Seattle? But yeah, I remember. I'm not sure which one it was, but it was Seattle or Indy. It's one of the two. And now I'm leaning to Seattle, to Indy, and I'm remembering Oronde Gadsden with a big play downfield on the right sideline. I want to say, I got to look it up. I'm not sure, but that's my guess. I'm going to go Indy over Seattle as the last playoff win. Let's see. XL hide man boobs. Well, then I'll go double XL to hide man boobs. What else do we have here?
The conversation regresses.
Yes, it is. Thinking draft day T-shirts. Let's see. Oh, you guys are just like going off on Hawk and Crowder now. Leave Hawk and Crowder alone. Those guys are good guys. I think Rowe has the biggest task this weekend, being stuck to Kelsey. Tua, tough task keeping up with KC. We need perfection week 14. Amen to that. I would have to agree with that one. Bro, I hate how Marino's last game went. I blame a lot of that on rubber hair Jimmy Johnson. You can blame all of it on Jimmy Johnson. Okay? That's the, we talked about not letting LeBron off the hook for what he did to Riley. I'll never let Jimmy Johnson off the hook for what he did to Marino. How about that? Okay? How he handled those 4 years and stripped Marino of his weapons and the audibles, and he thought he could run the Dallas offense without the Dallas offensive line. God, that drove me crazy. So, yeah, he made Marino play with the check with me system. You know?
A Dallas offensive line, whenever I think of that, I always think of Madden talking about the level of sweat down their leg and how they've been working and this, you know what I mean? And you could just, like, this is the mark. You could see this one's sweat is here and blah, and, you know, all that.
Miami Kid J is saying, I think Lamar Smith game. I think you might be right. So that's Wanstead Fiedler, and that's the 200-yard Lamar Smith game, right? I think, you know what? I think you guys are right. I think it was a Fiedler game, and they beat the Colts with Lamar. Yes, it wasn't Marino. Fiedler was the last one to win a playoff game. Yeah, that's a good memory by you guys. Joshua says Indy 2002. I think you guys are right on that one now. Yes. Yeah, that Wanstead got on the back of Lamar Smith in the locker room and all that stuff. I remember that. You are correct. I was a beat guy in those days. I think you're right. I think that's the last time. The Lamar Smith game. What do you get, like 204 yards, 202 yards or something like that? I think you're right, actually. Joshua goes, Jimmy Johnson was an arrogant D-bag.
I always talk about it, Jay Fiedler, man. There's only one quarterback that won more games those 2 years. Regular season, that was Elway, winning Super Bowls with 23. Fiedler won 22 games those 2 years, man. That guy,
I know.
You can say whatever you want.
I like
man.
Fiedler.
The guy played for us, bro.
I like Fiedler. I'm a Fiedler guy, and I know his shortcomings, and I know he wasn't a stud franchise guy and all that, but I just admired his toughness, his leadership. Really good human being. It's just a really hard guy to dislike, man.
One of my favorite games was the Denver Sunday night game.
Oh, yeah.
Stoyanovich, it's the record. I can't remember.
Lamar Thomas had an amazing night that night, right? Isn't that the one where he had like 3 touchdowns?
I believe.
Wasn't his mom in the stands or something? He gave his mom the mom a ball.
Who was the kicker for Denver that was awesome? That would hit 50-yarders all the God, I can't remember. But it's the first time in NFL history, in the last 2 minutes of a game, that 3 50-yard plus field goals were hit. Because Stoya hit one, they hit one.
It was Olindo.
Was it Olindo Mari?
Yes.
It wasn't Stoyo?
No. We didn't have Stoya anymore at that time.
It was Olindo.
It was Olindo, for sure.
But in the last 2 minutes, 3 50-plus yard field goals hit. And we won that game on a field goal last second. That was awesome, man.
Yeah.
Never forget that game.
Do you think we have been holding back in the red zone to release it this week versus the Chiefs? We need touchdowns. Love Big O Friday. Steve, no, not at all. I think they've been trying to do whatever they can to win games. I don't think there's any unleashing or anything like that right now. You know? NorCal says, I'm 90% sure it was the Colts in 2000 was the last playoff win. Right, so that was the Lamar Smith one. Okay. Marino deserved Minnesota. Didn't Wani win the last playoff game? Yes, Adrian. I think we nailed it down. It was the Lamar Smith game with Wani, on Lamar's back. Yep. Olindo Mare won the game with a field goal. That's what Joshua says. There you go. Oh, Jason Elam was the guy from Denver?
That's it. That's the guy.
There you go.
Yep. First time. 350 plus. That game, man, that was an exciting game. That was, you know what? And on that weekend was us beating Florida State at the Orange Bowl. It was an amazing weekend. Both games went down to the last minute.
Yep. Joe says the question is Tua ready? because he hasn't looked it. That's not true. He just hasn't played it on a consistent basis, Joe. He just threw for 296 yards last week. The second half, he didn't look ready. Joe, he's a rookie, dude. He's going to go like this. Okay? I think, I don't know how old you are, Joe, but I think with the older crowd that saw Marino, I almost think like some of them are programmed to think that you're supposed to come off the bench like Marino and kick everybody's ass. And that's just not the way. It's just not normal. That's not normal.
He's the only one that's ever done it like that out the blocks.
That's not normal. You know what's normal? As a rookie to stink out the place, and make a ton of mistakes. Like Peyton Manning did that threw 25 interceptions his rookie year. That's normal. Okay? Normal is to struggle and to get confused and to not be able to adjust quickly. Normal is delayed on reading defenses. Normal is,
normal is sitting your butt on the bench and watching for a year.
Yeah.
That's normal.
And inconsistent play is normal. Everything that Tua is doing is normal. That's what rookies do. Rookies cannot be consistent more often than not. The very few that are, it's just, that's a gift. It's just amazing that they're able to do that. But it's normal to struggle. So as I would tell my friend Omar Kelly at times, which I think he's actually, I heard him the other day when he was talking about a rookie, and when I heard him say, well, we got to give them time, I was so happy. Because he didn't give Jay Ajayi any time after his rookie year, that he had a bunch of injuries, but he played well right at the end. And then I'm talking with Omar, and he goes, well, I don't think he can be an every down back. I'm like, Omar, the guy just went through his rookie year, was mostly injured. Would you relax? Give him some time. The following year, 1,100 yards. Jakeem Grant, well, I don't think he can catch. Relax, Omar, it's his first year. Okay, drop some passes. But he caught 90 in college. Give him some time. There he goes. Jakeem Grant's nice and fine. Everything's great with Jakeem Grant. So I've seen him do that a couple times, give up on players early, and I never understand that. Now, if you're convinced a guy couldn't play right from college, like you didn't think he was a player in college, that's different. But if it's a player that you're just judging him on his first year, I mean, we've had this conversation on this show recently. I gave you
a few times over.
No, but just like last week or the week before, I gave you a slew of examples of players that it took them a while to get it going. Okay? And that's normal. It's abnormal to be a monster and make a easy transition to the NFL.
December 8th, third hour, first segment in the third hour. Rookie QBs and the judgment, them from the past and the present.
There you go. You're going to go check it out there. What up, Big O? Solomon had a great game at left guard. I would like to see him stay there, even if Flowers is healthy. What's your opinion? Isaias, that's probably where he's going to be. All these contracts that they sign with these free agents are short deals. They can get out of them. So once they find the right guys, they will settle them down. And yes, Solomon was probably playing right because that's where that Eric is comfortable on the left side. So maybe they just wanted to get by for a year like that. Let's see. Marino's debut ain't started like All World versus Buffalo in '83. Well, his debut, wasn't it against Oakland off the bench? Oh, you're talking about maybe the following game was his first start? I got you. In only his fifth game coming back from an injury and without an offseason and a training camp, man, just be thankful we got the guy. Thank you, Lord, for Tua. Yeah, and I think he's the 11th rated passer in the NFL. Did you guys know that? Did you know that Tua is the 11th rated passer in the NFL?
No interceptions, 7 touchdowns, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing helping that statistic, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
Did Arizona, he came close to 300 in this past week. He came close to 300.
296.
Right, yeah. No, dude,
Played great in the second half.
Rookies are supposed to make mistakes.
Yep.
The kid hasn't thrown a pick.
He's the 11th
Let's talk
rated
about
passer
that.
in
Let's
the NFL.
talk about that. You know what?
11th rated passer in the NFL.
In a 12-team fantasy league, he'd be a starting quarterback.
He's a rookie, not playing well, and he's the 11th rated passer in the NFL. It's just like we're dying to create controversy. We're dying to be negative about this. We're expecting the other shoe to fall. We want to
run over old ground. Be the complaining nurse, right?
It's a farce. What's going on? It's not real. I can't force myself to believe. I can't force myself to have confidence. I don't know what it is about some Dolphin fans that just want to fight this. And instead, just enjoy it, man. It's like awesome.
They don't want to leave the past. They're stuck in it, right?
I just talked a little bit about it here, and I elaborated a lot on it on Onside today. You have to be so appreciative of what's going on this year. Immensely appreciative of what's going on here this year. They're in the second year of a rebuild, and they got a shot at going to the playoffs. They're playing against the Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday in a game that matters. Who the hell thought that Miami in middle of December would be playing a game that matters in their second year of a rebuild? And not only does this game matter, this is a game where they legitimately have a shot. Yeah, I know they're supposed to lose, but I'm not sitting there like I have in years past, they got no shot. That's bullcrap. If this secondary, like I told you, comes to play, which they usually do, but this is the biggest challenge they've had all year. But if that secondary performs at a high level, Miami's got a shot. I just don't understand this whole thing with Dolphin fans. Like, you're just fighting this whole thing. Just enjoy the ride, man. They're overachieving. They're way ahead of schedule. This is, I don't know. I just, after watching all the crap the last 20 years, I guess that's why I'm so appreciative of what's going on now. That's probably what it is. It's just I've seen it so bad, and now it's so good that it's just, I'm grateful, man. I really am. You know?
I will point out that I did predict, and it's based off of you, that we would win 13 games. Now, obviously, I've reassessed, and I should have gone 1-.
They got only 112 now.
Right, except I should have not gone for the full 5 off of yours and gone 1 less.
Should have gone Greasy, not Marino.
It's in play, right? 12 is in play, bro.
You had to go Greasy, not Marino.
I did go for 13. You know, obviously that means we win the division, but I don't think Buffalo is going to go for it. I would like to thank you because I'm in play on being accurate.
Yes, you are. Big O, true fans are enjoying this. The young fans wants, like all the millennials, want instant gratification. Well, that's the thing. We are getting instant gratification in our second year. Wow, the year 2000 was the last Dolphin playoff victory. I was a sophomore in high school. Now I'm 36, bald, and overweight. We are long overdue for a victory. Where were you in the year 2000? I was covering the team, and I was frustrated that they sucked. Let's see, what else do we have? Like and share the Big O Show on all media platforms. Ready, set, go! Yes, please like, share, subscribe here. Subscribe to the Onside Zone. Okay, just put Onside Zone with Big O, and it'll come out. Subscribe, rate, review the podcast, please. Okay? Flipside says, I've been with you since 2007. This is the best team we've had the whole time I've been listening to you. I'm really enjoying this. Damn right. Better enjoy it. And we got more to come. That's the best part. That's the best part. Because Chris Greer's vision And he said it the entire time. It was something to build something that can sustain itself. Okay? And that's what he's trying to do here. Build through the draft. You have your young guys. You'll keep some. You'll lose some. You'll get compensatory. And you keep the vicious cycle going where you keep hitting on picks. Okay? And you keep getting compensatory picks also. And then you can make trades to then bring in more picks. And keep the strength of your team should be youth, should be draft picks, should be low salaries, and you only give out a specific amount of big salaries to your left tackle,
lockdown corner,
those kind of things. Probably a couple of linemen, and then of course your skill guys, the corners, the receivers, the quarterback.
Gotta pay a defensive end, right?
Yeah, definitely.
The marquee guy.
Well, the pass rusher.
Yeah, yes, specify.
Because in this team, it could be an outside linebacker. You never know. So it all depends on who the guy is, you know?
The quarterback destroyer.
That's what's changed here. This isn't a farce, man. Those days that we used to fall for it, and we'd fall for the banana in the tailpipe, and we'd get burned. It's not going to happen anymore. You know, that's the beauty. By the way, we are out here at Craig Zinn's, Acura of Pembroke Pines, as always, having a blast out here with Larry Schlossberg and the boys. And don't forget that you can come on out here, get 1.9% financing right now. 2001 TLX, $399 a month. They have got all kinds of great deals, 0.9% financing on all new 2020 Acuras, like the MDX model. They've got certified pre-owned vehicles. They can give you 0.99% financing. The 2020 MDX, they've got $10,000 off, $750 off for military veterans. The 2020 ILX, $189 a month. The 2021 TLX, $359 a month. It is the season of performance event going on right here at Craig Zinn's, Acura of Pembroke Pines at 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. And my man Larry Schlossberg is here as always, taking care of all of you out there. So please, if you want to buy a vehicle, this is an amazing vehicle to buy. We've got two of them at home. I've had an Acura in the past. I had my TSX for 10 years, and it never gave me issues. I would probably still have it right now if I didn't total it. And it was in great shape too, man. That still pains me.
The thing that was crazy is the trips going to Tampa, and the thing would still get 38 miles to the gallon, man.
On the highway.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, on the highway, but that's ridiculous.
Was
your car was, older, bro.
Yeah, 200,000 miles. It had 200,000 miles. It was great. It was in such phenomenal shape, man. It really was. I would still have it right now. Really, seriously. So come on out here. Tell them that Big O sent you. They will take care of you at Craig Zinn's, Acura of Pembroke Pines. Oh, would you trade X in the offseason if another team offers 2 number ones? I personally would not like to trade X. The only issue I have with all of this, and I've talked about this many times already, I guess you haven't heard it yet, Troy. I don't know how bad that knee is. That's really the key. And that, because some fans are like, well, why do you want to get rid of him? No, it's not that I want to get rid of him, but if the knee really isn't that great, and you think he's, going to have some issues down the line, and I'm talking about, 2-3 years from now, not 10 years from now, 2-3 years from now, if you think it's going to be an issue, then yeah, you move his ass. And I want to remind you, the guy in the front office picked Bobby McCain. The guy in the front office found Nick Needham. The guy in the front office went and signed Byron Jones. The guy in the front office drafted X. The guy in the front office, he played better last week, signed Noah, drafted Noah. My point is, the guy in the front office will find you another corner. Okay? But
let me put it to you this way.
If you don't think X is going to be a problem health-wise in the near future, then you don't trade him. because it's hard to find those kind of guys. Okay? And you're not going to pay you don't need to pay him for a while. Well, actually, this is probably his last contract. And by the time that contract expires is when you're going to have to pay all the other young guys that you have now. And then by then, Noah would have already become a guy, we hope, and they'll draft another guy, and then those guys will take over for Jones and X. But if you feel that X's knee is not going to hold up, or you have any rumblings about any domestic issues continuing, then you get the hell off the gravy train right now. And you go get all those picks. You got all the... Remember, some of you aren't going to remember, and some of you will not be honest enough, okay, and tell me. But there were people that were panicking about the trade for Tunsil. Oh, no, I know, but it's so hard to find a left tackle. Well, they found one. They found one. They got Austin Jackson, and guess what? They got 2 more picks now. So if you know how to draft, and you know that X is going to have issues down the line, send them off somewhere. Yeah, he'll play great for another year or 2, but then that knee breaks down, and then they've got to carry the salary. Let them do it. They give you picks. You replace him. Remember, if they give you 2 first-rounders, he's a 2nd-rounder. You know?
And let me put it to you hard. If the trainer comes and says, you're going to get 3 years, you're going to get 4, you're going to get 5, what's the number where you say, okay, it's only this, I got to get rid of him? Because if you could get 3 or 4, you're probably talking about him being a part of a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think as long as you can get 3 or more, I'm good.
Okay.
If you think in the next year or 2 that knee is going to explode on you again,
that's where I wanted to squeeze you
I gotta
and
move
make
on.
you say a number.
Yeah.
If we can get 3, you say keep them.
Yes. 3, I mean, for sure you're convinced that we will get 3 good seasons from, then yeah, because by the time you let him go, there's nothing left in the contract.
Well, and exactly what you just pointed out, I'm going to say this. Remember, the trainers are the ones that said, Drew Brees, blah, don't do that, go Culpepper.
Right.
The trainers don't always know what the hell they're talking about.
Right. Well, no, that was the doctors.
Okay. Right.
Okay, not trainers.
Right.
You don't take the
doctor's advice.
The doctor's advice on all of this.
But if the trainer signs off because they see the day in and day out of the, you know what I mean, the demise, the depreciation of a body more, right? Because of the football, not like a doctor.
His contract runs through 2024. So if you can get 21, 22, and 23 in, then I keep him. Because by the time you let him go in 24, you know, the cap hit and it's 0 dead cap money.
Nice, man.
Okay. He's 31 in 2024, and there's 0 dead cap money if you let him go in 2024. 0. Okay? It's straight up his salary is what he'll live off of. His base salary is 11.6. His cap hit is 12.2.
How old is he, How old is he?
Right now, he's 27.
Okay, so you're talking about another 3, 4. So you're talking 30. So if the guy's still
to 30.
So if he's still kicking butt,
right?
You probably franchise tag the guy. Because you can't, if he's like I'm saying, if he's still kicking butt, you don't go in for a bunch of 3 or 4.
Dude, you don't have to franchise tag him till 25.
Okay, that's what I'm
saying.
If he gets to that where he's 31, 32, but still kicking butt,
right?
You don't go for a 3 or 4 and lock in, and now you're dealing with a 36-year-old guy. You probably franchise tag him at that point.
Yes,
correct?
but I doubt you're franchising him also, because then that would be a world of money at the age of 32. He would have to be.
But if he's coming off an 8 interception season,
he's not going to do.
Bro, the guy should have 12 right now. Okay?
We're talking that's at 27, man. Not at 31.
Okay,
with a ton of mileage on him.
Hey, man.
No. I'm not going to live.
He's not going to have a ton of mileage because people aren't going to be throwing to his side. You know what I mean?
Yes, they are. They're not throwing to the other guy. They're throwing to X.
And forget throwing in the slot. Don't throw to Needham, right?
At what point do you learn, to not throw at Xavier Howard?
Like, wherever he's at, the ball is not to go there.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
That should be the rule.
Yep. So that's I don't have all that information about the health and any of the domestic issues. So I need to know those factors, okay? But I kind of gave you a scenario. If the knee's healthy enough for the next 3 years, I'm good. If you think something's going to happen in the next year or two, and he's going to have more scopes and more cartilage damage and all that stuff, and that means the more cartilage you take out, the more bone on bone, and it just
once the cartilage goes, that's it, man. It's a downward done.
Right. So, and his value right now is like a team is looking at it going, we're an X away from a title. That team's going to give you a lot for him. You know what I'm saying? So that's where, again, I don't know the health part. That's what I need to know in order to really make an intelligent decision on X. Because you don't trade people like this. Okay, this is a game changer. It's just a different monster. But if you're going to trade him, it's because we have all the other information. Isn't it kind of weird that the Miami Heat have been relevant for years and has won championships and has gone to a championship, but Miami is still a football town and not a basketball town? No, but it's basketball too. We got a lot of basketball fans here. People love basketball. But yeah,
you know what? Speaking
football,
of which,
football is God in this country, so it's just the way it is.
Bro, we pointed out in the past, being together now 2 years, even college basketball, the Hurricanes. And this past week, that game against Purdue, man, did you see that? The way they came back?
Yeah.
Props to our Canes, bro.
Yeah.
3-0. And yeah, it isn't just the Heat, man. When the Canes are the basketball team, basketball, it's coming, man. It's there.
I'm with you. All right, we got to wrap it up here on the show. Thank you all out there, as always, for supporting us. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll be on at noon at Caneswear. All right, so if you happen to live in the Davie area and you want to visit us over there at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, we'll be out there at Caneswear. So come on by. And, of course, if you're looking for a great vehicle, come on out and get an Acura. Fantastic cars, man. The new ILX is just absolutely amazing, too. They've got some great vehicles out here, so come on out here. Tell them that Big O sent you. 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. Bill, thank you, as always, for everything. I thank all of you out there for watching, subscribing, reviewing, rating, downloading the show. Thank you all. Don't forget to follow us also on the Onside Zone. That's the name of the show, Onside Zone. All right, there you go. We'll see you
party
all.
Peeps, don't forget, curfew starts back normal in Dade. Midnight, everything closes.
Party, baby, party hard.
We'll see you tomorrow. Everybody stay safe.